Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to another edition of Homie Picks, and on the road Homie Picks for some, and at home Homie Picks for others. Fellas, how's y'all week going?
Pretty
Huh.
good, pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. Long day today, but hanging in there.
Hey, man, that's what we do as the life of busy adults. Um, no special guest this week, but we do got 5 picks for y'all. Um, First off, shout out to the New York Jets for making Pittsburgh look all so bad at the last second. Um, Me and Ben both saw that one coming. Uh, but we didn't see that ending coming. That was pretty good. That was a pretty good ending, at
Yeah,
least
yeah.
for one team. Ben, you did have the good week,
Yeah,
followed by the
man.
last, followed by me and then Lou. But coming into it, right now we're going to start off with Rams at Dallas. Rams in Dallas. Um, it's going to be an interesting game. The legend of Cooper Rush is still is still in existence.
Yeah.
Joel Wielding, Donald and company. They're not doing too shabby, but they did get embarrassed on Monday Night Football against Debo Samuel and company. And I say Debo Samuel specifically because that was a pretty epic 57-yard touchdown that he had. Um, mainly
Um,
made Jalen Ramsey look so silly on that tackle. But Ben, how do you see this one going down, bro?
yeah, I'm gonna surprise y'all, but I'm actually like Dallas here. I know they're the underdogs. I believe they're 5.5 point underdogs here. But I like Dallas. Their defense is really what's keeping them in the game. Michael Parsons is just playing elite level right now, and the Rams, the O line is just having too many issues. I feel too many issues on the O line, so I think they're gonna get to Stafford and Robin Alice. Robin, what's his name? Robin Allison. You know what I'm talking about? I'm messing up his name.
Allen Robinson?
Robinson. I don't know what I'm saying. I said it backwards.
Allen Robinson.
Allen Robinson, right? He can't. I don't know. He's fell off a cliff or something. I don't know what's going on with that boy, but he just can't make a catch. So it's only down to Cooper Cup and their tight end Higby. So I don't trust too much of that just because of the defense, the way Dallas is playing. So I'm gonna have to ride with Dallas on this one.
Ooh, how do you see it, bro?
Uh, every as an NFC Giants fan, my gut is telling me to go Dallas, but my brain is like, you better not. So I'm gonna listen to my brain on this one. I'm a piggyback on my Ben said. Allen Robinson only got 6 targets last week. Cooper, this guy Cooper Cup got 19. Higby got 14. So yeah, they gotta find Allen Robinson. We've seen the same thing happen when Megatron was in Detroit with Stafford.
Right.
That's who we relied on. He went to. He needs to spread that ball out, and they need to get a running game going. You got Cam Akers back there, and we haven't heard his name at all the first 4 games of this season. So I think they need to rededicate to the running game. It's going to be hard with Dallas's defense. I think Dallas's defense is the best thing that happened to this season. Michael Parsons playing out of his mind, and when you got Diggs back there, that's a 1-2 punch back there. That's going to be give people nightmares. But I'm going to trust that Aaron Donald finds a game to way to be dominant. He wasn't dominant against the Niners. Like they double team him, they triple teamed him at times. I'm going to say Stafford rights the ship this week, gets a running game going. His defense maybe gets some easy pick sixes. It makes it a little uncomfortable for Cooper back there. And I hope the other Cooper runs him up. So I'm gonna go with LA with this, and I'm gonna take those points.
Yeah. For me, I mean, damn, y'all both kind of going with the guys I wanted to go with. My division winning pick. Y'all making it hard for me. But it has been a pretty sad scene seeing Allen Robinson not being able to get the touches or the catches that he needs to get. I mean, ultimately, the argument could be made that Allen Robinson made the best catch of his life with his girlfriend. So
Give him that
Feel free
one.
to add her.
he's never
Feel free to post a photo somewhere here.
feel free to add her or something if I can find it. But he ain't starving off the field. However, on the field, that man is hungry. Cooper Kupp has been the only target it looks like for this man. And I really don't know particularly how he thinks that this is going to be feasible to go the whole distance with never really feeding everybody else. I mean, granted, last year he had OBJ for somewhat of a season and Robert Woods for somewhat of a season, but I mean, you got to spread the ball out, and this is looking like a white on white crime. You know, you only want to give it to the white guy,
Well,
but
I don't know. To be fair, I feel like it seems like he lost the step. He just can't get separation, or maybe it's the routes they're giving him. I don't know.
Well, I
it
mean,
could
again,
be
like you
that.
said, no Odell Beckham. I mean, and Allen
It-
Robinson
it-
hasn't
it could-
proved he can beat anybody yet.
well, that's true because I mean, look, let's keep it funky. Like Allen Robinson was cool for the Bears, but it wasn't like he was moving the needle either. Um, in the end, how I see it going, I love Cooper Rush. At least lately, I love Cooper Rush. I've been on the Cooper Rush train lately, but I think the Rams are going to get this game. It's going to be a tight one. I don't know why they had that big of a spread, but I'm honestly seeing it go maybe by a field goal. So I'm going to go Rams by 3 on this one. So I'm actually going to see them covering. See Dallas. Well, I'm going to see the spread. I'm going to see Dallas covering the spread, but I'm going to see the Rams actually win the game. Moving to the second game, we're actually going to go across the pond. Technically, Green Bay is the home field team, but Giants, Green Bay in London, the second of the London series. Last week was Minnesota and Saints. But this one, I mean, Vegas sees the Giants getting their backs blown out. It was an 8.5 point favorite last I saw.
7.5 as of right now.
7.5 now, so it went down a little bit. Not as gigantically huge as that Buffalo and Pittsburgh spread, but still big spread nonetheless. They see them covering a touchdown plus. But Lou, do you have faith in your boys to cover that, or even?
So for me, I'm thinking. I was just looking at this game. I think we're gonna cover that. Actually, I think this is one of the games that the Giants actually desperately need. We're 3-1, but these are one of the games that set apart the season. To go up 4-1, and hopefully, the Rams take care of Dallas. Gives us a leg up, especially because we lost one interdivisionally already. Daniel Jones ankle worries me tons and tons and tons. I don't know how he's going to go into that game, especially at a fire across the pond. I'm taking the Giants to squeak this one out. I think it's going to be ugly. I think you need to load Thibodeau and Ujale, stack them behind, and just pressure Aaron Rodgers from that side. He has to prove that he can trust these wide receivers, and the wide receivers are going to have to beat us. That's the only way we're gonna win this game. So I'm taking the Giants, and I'm saying we're gonna I'll lay those points because I don't see us winning by more than 7.5. So
Ben, do you see it faring any better?
Let me see. Giants, Green Bay. I want to say Giants because they appear to be playing well, but I feel like they're a little bit fugazi there. They've beaten some teams that they should beat because they haven't been that good. And the one team that they lost is actually in a little bit above average team. So I'm gonna have to go with Green Bay on this one. I just think they're gonna run the ball. I feel like they're pretty good unscripted plays, particularly on the first half. It's the second half that they have problems with. But I just feel like the Giants are just too dependent on Saquon. If he has a bad game, it's a wrap. Danny Dimes has his ankle injury, and Tyrod has the concussion, I believe. So I don't know. I have to lean towards Green Bay on this one.
Yeah. So neutral field. Neutral field is the key in this whole thing. Now, the Giants have been playing fairly well overseas, but every team and every year is different. It's a different year for Green Bay. It's a different year for the Giants. You know, I don't know how sustainable the Giants are going to be in the long haul for this. I think Green Bay will kind of buckle down a little bit once they figure out the receiver situation. But I don't know. I just don't see this Green Bay team this year being all that impressive, especially not overseas. I did particularly love that clip of Aaron Rodgers cursing out his offensive line, wanting him to snap the fucking ball. but and those kind of frustrations are going to be there this year. This is not. I mean, it's crazy how we think one receiver changes everything. And I mean, I guess when you get a receiver of Devontae Adams' caliber, it kind of does show. But I think as an overall whole team, I definitely like Saquon Barkley. I like the running game of the Giants more than I like the running game of the Packers. Although I think the Packers running game is pretty competent. But I don't know. Neutral field. I'm actually going to ride with the Giants on this one. I actually see the Giants catching a W. It wouldn't shock me if Green Bay wins. I definitely see that 7.5 point favorite being just kind of a little bit out of control for me. But yeah, I particularly don't see the Giants getting blown out, and I don't see them losing this game actually. So Ben, what game do you see? What game do you see this week?
Yeah, for me, I find this game a little bit interesting. 2-2 teams, both with higher expectations than what they're delivering right now. This is the Chargers versus the Browns. This one's a little bit tough because the Browns are actually putting up points, which is kind of surprising with Jacoby Brissett. But I believe what's this guy's name? I forget his name already. The pass rusher from Myles Garrett. I believe he might still be out. So I don't know how much pressure they're gonna get on Herbert. And Herbert's just, I mean, he's playing through an injury as well, but I think he's starting to get a couple of his receivers back. Keenan Allen might still be out, but they started to find a little bit of a run game. Their defense is still a bit suspect. I mean, they gave up a lot of points to Tennessee, with Texas. So that's a little bit concerning, but I feel like in a shootout, which most likely could happen, I just have to lean towards the Chargers because at the end of the day, Jacoby Brissett, as nice as he's playing now, he's just a nice quality backup quarterback. He's, you know, eventually his true color is gonna come out, and I feel like it just might happen in this game. So I like the Chargers.
What's funny and odd about this whole thing is through 2-2, Herbert still is the passing leader, and I said how every year he's gotten better in terms of his yardage, but you know it's kind of weird that to be the leader in passing yards that you're only 2-2. But hell, you can see the rest of that list, the other 4 quarterbacks in that top 5 all kind of have not so much of a except for Josh Allen. Everybody's had a real stagnant record
What are
so
we talking
far.
about? Jalen Hurts is
Yeah,
undefeated.
Jalen Hurts is on there too, yeah.
Oh, my bad. Correct. Jalen Hurts. I forgot he was the fifth person on that list. Funny how I
Yeah,
forgot the black guy. I forgot the black guy last. My bad.
yeah.
My bad, Jalen. That's on
Let me
me.
see.
That's on
Let
me.
me pull it up. So it's Justin Herbert as the leader, 12-15, followed by Allen, Jared
Allen.
Goff. But they're putting up a lot of points. Matt Ryan,
You're Matty
disappointment.
Ice. Matty
My
Ice.
disappointment, Matt Ryan. And Jalen Hurts rounds off the top five.
Passing yards. This is kind of weird.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I do think I think Herbert, he's going to be fighting injuries all year. But I think I think against it is weird to see Cleveland actually do this well, or do this decent, shall I say? One thing I definitely did not mention a couple weeks ago, which is an error on my part, was the fact that Myles Garrett did have a single car accident going home from practice, and yeah, I don't really like to speculate on things like that, but he was going at high speeds, and I think I would have think, and I would hope that after the whole Henry Ruggs situation, that people will just learn to be more cognizant with themselves behind the wheel of these cars. But Godspeed to Myles Garrett to get better. From that kind of trauma. But I still don't see Cleveland really as much of a contender or doing really too much this year. Jacoby Brissett is holding down the fort until Deshaun Watson comes in week 11 or 12.
Yeah.
If he even comes back this year, you never really know how that's going to pan out. But I still see the Chargers winning this game. I think after getting smoked against Jacksonville, they may realize that we can't afford to let go of this division. It's still all up for grabs, but KC is looking like KC of old, even without Tyreek Hill. They're actually the antithesis of what Green Bay looks like when you lose a receiver. Kind of weird to see that, but yeah, I think Chargers take this game, and I think they're gonna get them by at least 10. Lou, how you see it folding out?
Yeah, I mean, my biggest worry is that you get a West Coast team traveling to the mid, to the middle of the country. 1 o'clock game. We know how West Coast teams do in these games. Sluggish start. Weather may be a factor. You got them LA boys used to the sun and the surf. So, but Cleveland doesn't scare me right now. Not with this team. Not the way they're built. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt are doing their things, and Amari Cooper has had flashes, but Jacoby Brissett isn't the guy I would put money on to take us to the promised land. And the Herbert is getting stronger. Herbert's leading the league in passing yards, and guess who's missing? His number one receiver. Like he doesn't even have his number one. And he has banged up ribs. So it's like playing 2 games with banged up ribs, 2.5, because he played the last quarter of game 2 like that. I'm gonna ride with the Chargers on this. This is a game where they are probably gonna come out early and try to deliver that knockout punch early in the game that we can get Herbert some rest. I say they wrap this game up by the third quarter. Jared said 10.5. I don't know. I think it might be a 2-touchdown game going into the fourth, maybe 3, and Herbert can take a quarter off and recoup. So I'm going with the Chargers on this.
What game do you have in your eye, Lou?
I'm gonna go with the Monday night special. On paper, this was supposed to be a top billing, AFC showdown, a mini Super Bowl. But one of the teams have not lived up to it. And that's the Raiders at the KC Chiefs. I was expecting primetime David Carr to come up and say, this is my division. I got my number one, and he hasn't lived up to that billing at all. I mean, he's one of the quarterbacks that has so many weapons, and they're being underutilized right now. I think you could plug in any quarterback in his take David Carr out and put any other quarterback, and this is a bona fide Super Bowl team. You put Tom Brady, you put Josh Allen, Burrow, Lamar, any of those guys, you plug them into this Raiders offense, and they're a goddamn nightmare. Kansas City is a 7.5-point favorite as of right now. I think it's gonna be even more than that. I mean, the Raiders barely got out that win against a struggling Broncos team, and struggling mightily. So, a KC team that's firing on all cylinders, and with you got Edward Solar Eclair, I call him Edward Eclair, running like crazy, and Pat Mahomes is making it easy. Like he's just making it easy with whatever he has. Kelsey's being Kelsey, and this defense is keeping him in ball games. So I'm riding with KC on this, and yeah, I'll definitely take that 7.5.
Ben, how do you think it's gonna go?
Yeah, I mean, we all knew Patrick Mahomes can do what he does. And I think he took offense when everyone else was picking other MVPs but him. So, I think he took that personal. Because
You might be watching the show.
yeah, so I don't know. He's playing really well right now. I mean, they still haven't figured out all their weapons. I mean, they haven't really utilized Juju well yet and all that. And they're still putting up points. So I do not see the Raiders being able to stop them. Their defense is very porous right now. And I don't know, maybe this Josh McDaniel experiment is not working. I mean, he failed in Denver. If you can't, I don't know, they just have too many weapons, like Lou said. They have so many good receivers and tight ends, like even a back. I mean, Jacobs is not a bad running back either. They have weapons, and to be struggling that much offensively, particularly when that's his strong suit, it gives me pause. So I just really can't back them up right now until they start getting it together. I mean, I know it's new systems, new everything, but I don't know. They're struggling mightily right now, so I have to go with the Chiefs. I mean, it could possibly be a blowout, no question about it. I just right now their defense just can't stop anybody. So I'm gonna go with the Chiefs on this one.
As much as I want to go with the upset, and you know what, the upset can still happen. Nobody saw the Colts beating the Chiefs, but they pulled that one off. It really depends on who shows up. It does have the makings of a blowout because the Raiders just can't seem to find their own rhythm, defensively or offensively. And it's crazy you can't find rhythm offensively when you're stacked. Like on paper, this team is stacked offensively, and they just can't seem to find common ground. But I do remember a Raiders team. Granted, it was a different coach, and such. But I do remember a Raiders team that went against KC and went toe to toe with them. So do I see it happening this Monday? Why not? I'm gonna give the Raiders a fighting chance. And that's really all it's gonna be is a fighting chance. But yeah, I think the Raiders are gonna get this one. It's gonna be a shootout, and if Devontae Adams is going off and Kelsey's going off and so forth, like granted, I mean you got wide receivers and tight ends galore in this game, but I think it's going to be a shootout. It may not be the best solution for the Raiders, given how bad the defense has been recently. But I think why not? Vegas is going to take this one. For our finale, though, Before we get into introducing this game, I just want to bring up a quick stat. This team has only 14 seconds, man. 14 seconds.
14 seconds too long.
14 seconds. It pains me to talk about the Ravens in this way because we've had big leads and then we've blown it. We've had the lead all up to 14 seconds. That's really the key. What it comes down to 14 seconds. It's a damn shame, man. Like, we literally had the game against Miami. We had the game against Buffalo, and we blew both of them. Early in the season, yes, I know, but that shit still pains me. We got Cincinnati coming into Baltimore. Jimmy Smith officially is retired. I can't tell you how happy I am to see that. I was never really a big Jimmy Smith fan, to be honest, but he gave us 11 seasons. I thought all 11 seasons he got torched though. We do got Nelly coming in to do the halftime show. Don't know why. I mean, granted, yes, I know why. He's been doing. That's been our intro song since the song got there. I do see why he's doing that. I just don't know why now. Ray Lewis is not here anymore, but unless Ray Lewis is going to start doing his dance at halftime too, I have no idea how this is going to pan out. Anyway, Bengals, Ravens. That's my team, but I guess I'm going to go last on that one. Ben, start us off, man. How do you see this one going?
Unfortunately for you, I see your Ravens losing this one. I feel right now, since he's getting their line together, they're starting to communicate a little better. The protection is getting slightly better. We can't do a run game, but because your secondary is so weak, I feel like Jamar Chase, even if you start doubling him, it's going to give more opportunities to Higgins, and Burrow's just going to slice you guys up. I'm sorry. It's going to be a tough game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I think at the end of the day, I think Burrow's going to put up enough points. Right now, I know Bateman has a foot injury, I believe. So it's going to be Duvernay, some of the running, which hasn't been doing much well. So they can really just focus on Andrews, try and lock him up. And, Lamar's going to do what he does. He's going to run and get his points. But I think they'll be able to contain them just enough. I think they're going to put enough points up on the board that they're going to win this game. So I like Cincy here.
Lou, does your MVP pick take over?
Yes, I think he does. I mean, he's proven for the first 4 games that he is going to be worth every dollar that they guarantee to this man. I'm calling it like the Aaron Judge season for him, where he just murders. Shout out to Aaron Judge for breaking the home run record as well in the American League. Can't go without mentioning that. But yeah, I think this is one of these games where Lamar is going to turn to Tyrese Gibson and go, "What more do you want from me?" Because the man's doing it all, right? Anything short of kicking the field goals his damn self, he's not doing. So, shout out to Lamar, because I don't think any other quarterback, any other player will put himself in that position that he's putting himself in. He's still running down that middle. He's still, not sliding and diving head first. Like some quarterbacks with contract year will be like, I'll take the 4th and 1 and slide. Man, this is a battle. This is a game that they desperately need. They need to get a footing on this division. You've seen the Steelers make a change at quarterback, so that might be good things coming out of there. That's a young and upcoming team as well. They're trying to stack wins together. Cincinnati's trying to rebound from the Super Bowl loss. They're trying to stack wins together. So this is the time of the year where you need to stack wins on as much as you can. It's difficult for Baltimore because they had such a successful last year that they're dealing with all the top teams this year. But this is one in the conference that they absolutely need. So I'm going to take Baltimore, and I think, yeah, it's going to be one of those last second. They need a field goal to win by like 2 or 3.
So last season, Cincinnati put the smackdown on us, and they earned it. You know, like they fought for that, they earned it, they got that. Lamar has been playing out of his freaking mind. I honestly, I was definitely on the thing of pay this man at halftime right now. Just pay this man, because damn it, he deserved every dollar he's gonna get right now. I guess for the Ravens, you may not want to pay him right now because you're like, well, shit, he doing so good without this money. You might as well just keep letting him just do all this and see how much more he's gonna get out of his contract. I mean, this man is throwing for all-time money. Like it's sad that his numbers have been wasted in 2 games. Because literally that's what it was. It was wasted in 2 games. Buffalo, it was wasted against Miami. Sadly, both of those games happened at home. But against a Cincinnati team that is still trying to find their thing, and I said it last week, I think Cincinnati just needed just 1 win, and they can start rolling after that. I do see Cincinnati definitely putting up points against us, because that's something that we have not figured out so well. Granted, yes, we did do a lot better against Buffalo than other than Miami. Other teams have fared, except for Miami, like I said. But I just think that Cincinnati's still trying to figure themselves out, and I think this is a perfect opportunity for Baltimore to capitalize on this. I think Lamar is going to be electric Sunday Night Football. I remember Sunday Night Football against the Chiefs, and this man went for everything, and he shined. And I don't see why he wouldn't shine this Sunday Night Football either. Against a division rival, against a team that beat us basically every time last year.
Yeah.
So I do see a victory coming Baltimore's way.
And shout out to Cincy with those unis last week, man. Fire.
Yeah, that white tiger uniform is hard. I can't front. Like, if they had if they were able to wear those uniforms this Sunday, I might change my pick. But them uniforms they tough, man. Like, if I was any defender, I'd be like, damn, that shit's stylish as fuck, bro. So I'd be distracted. But so that's our 5 for this week. Anytime touchdown scorers, who we got?
Ooh, well, McCaffrey got me mines last week, so I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna pick a game that we didn't talk about today. And I'm gonna go with Jacksonville versus Houston and Damian Pierce. Like Bryce Hall, rookie, runs hard. I think he squeaks the touchdown in.
Any ideas for you, Ben?
Yeah, I actually like T. Higgins on here because I feel like the Ravens are gonna double or roll coverage over to Lamar, so I think Higgins is gonna be a lot of opportunities. So I like him getting a touchdown.
Let's see. For me, I think I'm actually going to go back to the Jets. I'm actually going to go back to Bryce Hall. I think I'm actually going to go back to Hall. I think he's going to be an anytime touchdown scorer. I'm actually a little bit of a Jet liker this year. I kind of like what they kind of got going on. Don't get me wrong, I ain't never going to be a Jet fan, but I kind of got faith in the young bull that they got at running back.
Offensive rookie of the year. Offensive rookie of the year.
You picked it, Lou. Look, I mean, look, I'm hoping all your picks coming true, bro. I'm hoping Lamar gets that MVP. I'm hoping Lamar gets that trophy. Look, I'm hoping all your picks come true. Fantasy studs. Who we got?
Uh,
Ooh.
this one's a little tough for me. I'm not too crazy right now, but if I would have to lean towards Patrick Mahomes in this one, fantasy wise, I think he's gonna light up the Raiders. I think he gets 3 or 4 touchdowns.
Ooh, Jesus.
I was gonna go quarterback, but since you went quarterback, I'm gonna go wide out, and I'm gonna go with Justin Jefferson against Chicago. Why? Because it's Chicago.
Be careful now. He might put in a passing clinic and pass for 100 yards.
Look, don't
It's
you
Chicago.
dare disrespect the mighty, mighty Bears. Fantasy stud this week. Honestly, I am gonna go wide receiver as well. I was gonna go quarterback. I was thinking Justin Herbert, but actually gonna go wide receiver. The same wide receiver who just went crazy against the illustrious Rams and Jalen Ramsey. I'm gonna go Deebo Samuel. I think him against Carolina is feasting. Granted, yes, it is a West Coast team going to East Coast, but I think Debo's going to thrive in this one, though.
I like it. You guys are picking all my fantasy players. I like it.
I'm gonna need a list of all your fantasy players so I can do not pick them. But yeah, that's what we got for you this week. Like, subscribe, share. Tell us what we're wrong. Tell us what we're right.
Yeah.
But
Or give
come
us
back at you.
suggestions for games you guys want us to cover. Let us know.
Absolutely, because I see people in the comments who are kind of mad that we don't pick their teams and talk about their teams. Look, I mean, we're trying to get as many people as we can. Maybe we know we definitely got to put the poll up in regards to that. Oh, right, one thing right quick before I do actually sign off again. Did anybody see that JJ Watt press conference after post game conference?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
It's pretty damn sad. He's diagnosed with atrial defibrillation, which is an irregular heartbeat, and it definitely could play a role into costing him his career, if not treated or monitored closely. And this is a high pressure sport. The emotion that I did see on JJ Watt's face told everything I needed to see. It was a weird post game conference, because on one hand you want to talk about the team, but you also understand life implications to this. And the one thing that stands out the most to me, and y'all two are fathers, I'm not, but he said, I have a kid on the way. And that stands out to me more than anything else in the world. Playing versus your health. And this is all a game until your health, is no more. Any reactions that y'all had to his conference?
Well, like I said, I didn't hear the conference itself, but I was on Twitter and he announced it because he said somebody leaked his info, which that I know people want to get the scoop and all that, but I think that's very sensitive info. It forced his hand to do it. Obviously, he didn't want to do that. Wanted to keep it private, but hopefully, he gets better and he can continue playing. But if not, he has to think about his health first. Comes first. It's just a sport. It's just a game. It's not life or death. So hopefully he gets better. Prayers out to JJ Watt. Hopefully he gets better over that.
Lou?
Yeah, for me, I was born with an irregular ticker as well. And it's scary. He's a big man. He's a big man, and he's playing a very physical sport. So shout out to him for, and again, it sucks when your medical stuff gets leaked. It shouldn't. We live in a day and age when HIPAA runs crazy, but yet, you pay for the NFL, and all your stuff has to be put on the table, because of the job you have. But yeah, shout out to him to even putting on a helmet again, because I don't know, me as a father, I don't know if I ever put myself out there again, knowing that you take a one pop in the chest and you pretty much could be done for the count, because seconds matter when you have an irregular heartbeat. Your heart skips a couple too many beats, and then you're left without any blood flow or anything like that. So difficult to see him, but proud of him that he actually took the precaution and getting the ultrasounds and getting the advice of doctors, and they say he's good to play. So hopefully he has like cover around his heart, and he can go out there and do what Watt does.
Look, I mean, I don't want to make light of the situation. I just have is not to his doctor, because that's gonna be the wrong person you want to go for advice. I mean, for anybody who does play this sport, who plays any kind of sport, we pay, yes, there's tons of money that goes into these sports and these games and such, but there's not enough money in the world that's going to make me want to forego those moments with trying to have my family or be with my family, and shout outs to him for even just sticking in, with this whole thing. To anybody who's going through medical stuff, get yourself checked out. Us as men, even the women who watch this show, we all faced with, different ethnicities, different demographics of us. We all pose with certain different, health conditions. Get screened and stay well. That's just my little PSA for everybody. But love all is one. We'll catch you on the next show. Later.
Let's ride.